So there's rules in logic, and if you break those rules, then you're committing logical fallacies. Here's one such rule. Don't assume what you want to be true is true. So you have like this fantasy, this imaginative world where things are the way you want them to be. That's all good and dandy, but don't assume that the way things are has anything to do with the way that you want things to be. If you do, then your reasoning falls victim to the fallacy of wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is when you draw a conclusion about reality based on the fantasy that you have about how things should be. So here's some examples of the fallacy of wishful thinking. Premise 1, if that's true, then I'd have to move, and I don't want to move. So I'm going to draw the conclusion that it's not true. So imagine that if you found out your spouse was cheating on you, then you would leave them and you would move. And you don't want to leave them. You don't want to move. So you're like, no way, they're definitely not cheating on me. Yeah, it's not true that they are cheating on me. Your conclusion is being drawn from these premises about how you want the world to be, and that's just not good reasoning. Here's another example. If he's correct, then I'll be sad. And I don't want to be sad, so I'm going to tell myself that it's not correct. Now, this is a psychological move that we make all the time. We don't want something to be true, and so we find evidence that shows us that it's not true. Here's our last example. If there is a heaven, then I'll feel less afraid of death. And I don't want to feel afraid of death, so I'm going to conclude that there is heaven. These are all examples of fallacious reasoning. It looks like a good argument. It looks like proper inferences to a conclusion from premises, but the reasoning is fallacious. And the kind that these are all the fallacy of wishful thinking.